everyone, Anika here from Carson Law. We are going to talk about what happens when a tenant withholds rent or doesn't pay rent for a period of time, and what to do in that situation and how to get it sorted out. To start with, you are going to provide an N4, which is a notice to end a tenancy early for non-payment of rent. You have to provide a 14-day notice to your tenants, so it actually gives them 14 days to either rectify the situation, for example, pay the rent that they owe you, or they also have the option to move out within those 14 days because they can't afford the rent anymore. And if your tenant does either of those, the notice is void. For example, if they pay the rent that they owe you, the notice doesn't count anymore. It's void. The situation has been solved. If they don't pay the rent but they decide to move out, your tenant has moved out. You can rent it out to a new tenant at that point. However, if the notice is entirely ignored, you don't get your rent back, or the tenant hasn't moved out of the unit at that point, you do have an option to file the application L1, which is an application to evict a tenant for non-payment of rent and to collect that rent. So you go ahead with the board and you file that application. Once you file that application, you have to serve it to the tenant to make sure that they are aware that you have filed for this eviction process. And once that's done, it's just a matter of time before you get a hearing date. So at this point, we're looking at about 3 to 4 months for a hearing. Once you do get that hearing date scheduled and you attend the hearing, you will end up getting an eviction order from the judge or the adjudicator who is hearing your case that would allow you to involve the sheriff and get their assistance into getting your tenant out of your unit. So it's very important that you fill out these forms and applications correctly. Highly suggest that you have them reviewed by a legal professional like a paralegal or a lawyer. Especially if you are going through the process alone, it is important that your forms are correct, your termination dates are correct. That way you don't have to face any more delays than you already would be with the timeline of a process. So start with an N4. Hopefully that gets you sorted out. If not, get to L1, and the hearing usually would help you out in sorting and making the decisions that would be best for you and your tenant at that point in time. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I will have my information and my email below on the post, and I'm always happy to help you out. Thank you. Bye.